weekend, kind of the details that you guys learn and then how you apply that. I guess in your perspective, you're in the lineup every day. How different is your approach and kind of the way you're seeing pitching Saturday and Sunday versus Friday?
I think it's usually the same every day. You come to the field and prepare the same way. That's what I got for that.
You were in a bit of a slump till that last Illinois game. You picked it back up again. Is there something you've changed, or is it just the ups and downs kind of being a freshman, that your hitting was strong, then it went down a bit, and now, since the last 5 or 6 games, it's really been strong again?
Yeah, I think that's just baseball. Sometimes that happens where you're just kind of in that mental state where you're just not seeing the ball the way you should be. And then the third Illinois game, I figured out something, I don't know, and it's been staying like that for the next couple games.
In the past 5 to 6 games, you've hit a little bit more home runs. Has there been sort of a considerable change to your approach or your swing or anything like that?
No, I would say that my approach has kind of gotten back to what I was before I started to be in that slump. I've been seeing the ball really well, opposed to the couple weeks ago. I'm seeing the curveball down. I'm not chasing a lot, and I'm hammering the pitches that I get in the zone. So.
How important is it for you to stay on your game defensively no matter what you're doing at the plate?
I pride myself in my defense. That's what Mercer's always told me. The defense will keep you a spot in the field, and it's always important for me to stay on top of that.
In these first 2 games, you guys go down first, only by 1 or 2 runs, but sort of, can you take me into what the atmosphere is sort of like in the dugout, where you guys walk in after being in the field, only down by 1 or 2 runs? What's that like?
Just that we've been there before, and we know how to, we know what we're capable of. We're going to put runs on the board, so that's never really a concern for us going into those kind of innings like that.
Anything else for Tyler?
You've had this isn't actually specifically for this game, but you've had a couple of you've been deployed in a couple of interesting shifts where you're really close to almost in being in the first base position, and you almost kind of have to communicate with Philip as to not Philip, but with Brock about who's going to get the ball. Can you kind of just walk me through some of those plays?
Yeah. So we have obviously a scouting card of all the hitters and where to play and where to position ourselves. But usually we'll just kind of go off what we see from what the batter's doing. So like if I see a lefty that's early on every pitch, pulling off of everything, I'm going to shift more into the outfield to take away that little pull single into the 4-hole there. And then I'll always tell Brock if I'm behind him if there's a ball just a little bit to his right, to let it go and just go to the base, because I'll get it and throw it. And same thing for a righty. If he's early, I'll play more up the middle.
Does that info card kind of explain a little bit how the pitcher's going to pitch to the batter, or is game planning to pitch to the batter?
No, it's just kind of hitter tendencies, if they'll pull the ball or if they push the ball, whether or not.
All right. Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Luke, you ready? All right. Luke Sinnard, we'll take 4 questions.
After the outing against Illinois, how did it feel for you to bounce back and kind of turn into what we've seen a lot this season, a lot more zeros on the board, I guess, today?
Yeah, so Illinois was an anomaly for me. I don't know, I just didn't have my stuff that game, and throughout the week, focused on throwing harder, like with more intent throughout the week, and landing my off-speed pitches again for strikes, which really helped me. Just like in Iowa, just went back to that game plan.
You threw 7 innings. That's a season long for anybody this year on the team. How big was that with how much the pitching staff is going to have to be used with the double midweek?
Well, I think that's huge for the team,
Yeah.
Giving our pitchers, our bullpen, a little bit of a break, and
Coach said that you had your splitter working today, so you can just talk a little bit about that pitch and how you were able to work it in today.
Well, to be honest, I only threw it one time, so it was mainly my curveball that was working real well today. Landing that for strikes, I think they were sitting fastball most of the time, so getting my off speeds for strikes were a big key to success.
After the team put up a 4 spot in the second, how did that feel for you to come back out and pitch with the lead?
going throughout the game, I always feel like I have the lead. Trying to get my offense back in there, even put up more runs. To be honest, whenever my offense has the lead, I feel like they get down the other team. It's just easier to pitch.
You have given up a few home runs this year. Other than that, you've been pretty locked down, but at times you have given up more home runs than some of the other pitchers. How are you able to maintain your focus and not let it snowball on you, that you're able, once you give up a home run, you settle right back in and you pitch very well?
Well, giving up home runs is part of pitching, and you're going to make a few mistake pitches every now and then. It just happens that they hit them more than I would like, but you just gotta wipe it. You gotta not even think about it. Go back out there.
In some of your shorter outings, such as like Penn State and Illinois, you've come back the following week, Iowa and Ohio today, with just really fantastic starts. How does it feel to sort of be back here, and is it kind of like a home base after sort of those road starts?
See, I don't really know. I think those road starts to me are just, I couldn't even tell you. It doesn't bother me on the road, because in the beginning of the season, I was on the road against two huge schools, Auburn and Texas, and basically just being home helps, but it shouldn't be like that on the road anymore. I think I'm gonna try and crack down on that.
You mentioned pitching with more intent throughout the week. I think it was after your Illinois start, you said against Iowa you came out with more fire. Did you feel that kind of same fire today?
I did. I came in pissed off. I feel like those games that I go short, I get a little bit of rest, a little bit more rest, and I get amped up through the week just thinking about it. I want to go back out there and prove again, like I'm not, that shouldn't happen again.
Anything else for Luke? If not, thanks, Luke.